Hi there, welcome to this video training on how to actually get prepared so that you feel ready to start your business or ready to receive your clients. So I hear from a lot of people that they have the experience of not feeling ready, and that is why they don't pursue their passion for nutrition any farther than just going to school, getting their diploma, and then going back to, the workforce. A lot of people struggle with accepting that in order to actually serve people as a holistic nutritionist or health coach, you're going to have to actually start some kind of business. Hey, Daisy. Actually, both of my cats are in this shot. There's one over on the floor there. And this is Daisy. You want to say hi, Daisy? You say hi? So, it's kind of a catch-22, right? Like if you don't feel ready and you keep telling yourself that, then you keep putting off starting and you feel less and less ready as time goes on by putting things off. Every single minute, hour, day, year since you graduated is time that you start to forget things that you learned, which gives you more reasons, AKA excuses, for why you can't get started and you're not ready. So here's the thing. I'm going to go over today some signs that I believe tell you that you're ready, and then also show you what you need to do to get prepared so that you stop using that as your reason for why you're not getting started as a holistic nutritionist or health coach. So before I do that, I just want to ask you, how do you think without actually doing the work, learning and expanding in the process of getting that experience, could you ever feel like you were making progress so as to feel ready, right? Like it's just not logical to use that as a reason for why you wouldn't get started. So what I'm going to say is that what is actually happening inside of you is a feeling. Well, it could be two things. It's what's actually happening on the inside is the feeling of not being ready comes down to self-doubt, right? And just not believing in yourself, not believing that you can help yourself or others, not having actually put into place in your own life what is required for you to make a transformation. Then of course you're going to doubt whether you can do that for others. So you have to actually use that as a reason to get started, not as an excuse to not get started, meaning you have to use your own journey of healing as a motivator to help others and vice versa, that you actually are motivated to heal yourself through helping others because you're an example, right? And you know that people are watching you and they're getting their inspiration from you, and you need to live in line with your values. So you can actually use that to get you on track rather than to use it as a reason why you won't get started, right? Because if you're thinking to yourself, oh, I'm not perfect, I don't know what I'm doing, okay, I'll just go eat cheesecake and sit on the couch and watch Netflix, right? Like that is not going to actually help you to embody the level of health that you're capable of. So use that as a reason rather than an excuse. Use it as a reason to help yourself. You help others and you're helping yourself at the same time. So that's one way of looking at it, that feeling of readiness, to not let that voice inside of your head that, is self-critical and is looking at all the things you're not doing right or perfect. Don't let that voice win and drive your life. Then the other side of it is maybe there's some truth to it. Okay, so if we, go to, say you had to go to a show tonight, and in order to get ready to go, you had to put on a dress, put on some heels, put on your makeup. Sorry, guys. And you were, your boyfriend keeps saying to you, like, are you ready to go? And you're like, no, I don't feel ready, right? And then, he walks into the bathroom and you're like, I don't know, cleaning the bathroom or something like that instead of actually getting ready to go. I mean, it would just be logical that the problem is not that you're not ready. The problem is you're not getting ready, right? So if you don't feel ready, why aren't you getting ready, right? This is like action you have to take in the world, right? So there's that inner work that you have to do on yourself. Then there's the outer work of actually doing the work to get ready, right? So what makes you feel ready? Preparation makes you feel ready, right? It's that combination between getting prepared and then trusting in the flow and in the process, and trusting that you're going to be learning as you're growing. And you're going to learn way more from the experience of applying your holistic nutrition and health coaching tools to yourself, as well as utilizing with others and having your clients inform you of what works and what doesn't for them. That's how you're going to learn, and that's how you're going to grow. So I think that is pretty obvious, right? It's like you say it and it's obvious, but oftentimes because of those feelings of self-doubt and fear, we don't think logically, we think emotionally. So the truth is that if you feel like you're not ready, you actually have an emotional block to getting started. It's not a preparation block, but you can actually help the emotional side by feeling prepared. So in order to feel prepared, there's certain things that you need to put in place before you get started. Okay, so yes, you could start tomorrow. If you have self-confidence and faith in yourself already, you don't need another thing, right? You can literally just go out and get clients and start working with them, okay? And you'll, as you go, you'll build a ship, right? Or you'll be building the plane while you fly it kind of thing. But if you're the other kind of person and you have that perfection paralysis and you have the sense that you know that you're not ever going to feel ready without preparation, then this video training is for you. Okay, so let's look at, I have a couple distinctions here, 4 reasons that you'll know you're ready, but 4 signs that you're not prepared. So you can actually make the distinction, right? You can actually tell yourself the truth. It's not that you're not ready, you're just not prepared. So let's look at the 4 reasons that tell you that you are ready. So you are committed to being a lifelong learner. If you are somebody who is so passionate about your work and your craft that you can't imagine yourself ever not studying nutrition, being that, voice in the community to share with your friends, being that person that people come to ask for advice, all of those things tell me that this is the life you were born to live, right? This is how you were meant to serve in this way, because your passion is driving you to be that person who is uniquely given that inner motivation to study this topic, right? Like you may think that a lot of the stuff that you know is pretty obvious and simple, but it's only because it's your passion. It's the place that you are the most driven and intentional in your life. And so it seems like it's obvious and easy stuff to you, but to others, it is like incredible knowledge, and they're looking for you. They're looking for you to enlighten them and inspire them and show them the way, help them to implement, right? That's what your business is about. In your business, the marketing part of things, that is literally the education that you bring to your community. So really, you can just think of marketing as that. It's just education. Super easy. Like what I'm doing here, exactly. This is marketing right now. So then you move into showing people how to implement what you teach. That's your services, right? It's easy. It's simple. It's like for somebody who's passionate, then all aspects of your work are parts that you love. Okay. And that's a sign that you're moving in the right direction and that you're on track. And you don't have to have anything literally but a Facebook page, okay, dedicated to your business to share what you know and even other people's work on the topic that you specialize in or that you plan to specialize in. It doesn't even have to be your own content. You just become that person that people go to share what you already naturally are designed to feel compelled to share. Okay, so that's one sign. Actually, I got the 2 in. Being the lifelong learner and having the passion. Okay, that's 1 and 2. Okay, and you need to be a lifelong learner for this. Let's face it, nutrition has only, we only discovered vitamins in 1911. That things are always changing, right? And we're always learning more. So you need to be someone who keeps up on that stuff. You need to be driven in that way. If you don't have the passion and you don't feel compelled to do that, then, I'm going to tell you right now, this is not your life path. right? Why put the time in? Why try to tell yourself that this is the way to use it, right? But maybe you can use it in a new way, right? Like maybe you went to nutrition school and it's you like it, it's interesting to you, you can see how it obviously helps you and others, but your passion is something else. How could you combine the two together? How could you take that knowledge and skill of being a nutritionist and infuse it into some other kind of business or line of work? Be creative about this, right? Create a job that's never ever existed before for yourself, or a nonprofit organization. Like, who knows what it will be for you, but expand your mind. Okay, that's something we do in the Nourish Nutrition Business Program. We have the first module is completely dedicated. It's called Your Soul's Calling. It's dedicated for you to find that unique blend of, you know, your passions, your skills, your talents, your gifts, things you like to do, problems you like to solve for people, and put that together in a business that's so uniquely you that you never have to worry about this idea of competition, right? You're never going to worry about what other health coaches or other holistic nutritionists or practitioners are doing, because nobody can do that thing like the way you were designed to do it. All right, so number 3, you know a lot, but you're not quite sure how to articulate what you know or articulate why what you know works. Okay, so this is like, you could only feel this if you were already the other person, a lifelong learner, and have a passion for the work. Okay, that's driving you to know a lot. But when you first start to learn things in a very intellectual way, and that's basically how you studied in school, right? It was book learning, it was lectures, right? And a lot of reading and a lot of studying, okay? And case studies that were like, you know, assessing the person rather than like working with the person and helping them to actually implement things. So that is basically, that is where you're probably not feeling ready, okay? How do I know this? I know this because I'm not only studied and graduated from 2 holistic nutrition schools here in Canada, but I've been a teacher at one of them for about 5 years now. So I know what the curriculum is, and I know that that's what's missing. And I know that's what's making you feel that you're not ready, okay? But there's no way you can know why something works, okay? Like when you were learning it intellectually at school, you were memorizing things for a test, okay? So you put it all into short-term memory. So you remembered like the what, like what do you do to help somebody in this situation, but you're not gonna remember all the whys, okay? And it's because of that short-term, that way of learning that is not holistic, that is basically putting stuff in your short-term memory. So then you start to worry, like, what if I don't know enough? What if I tell my client to do something and I can't explain why, you know, I'm not ready, I need to study more, da, 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 da. No, you do not need to study more, because you're gonna get that same sort of experience studying. That's what studying is. It's book knowledge. It's heady, right? It's not applied, okay? How you actually start to know why and how things work is by applying them. So you have to apply them on yourself, and you have to apply them with your clients. And when you're doing that, you're gonna go look and find the answers of why these things work. And because now you can apply it to your own situation, or you can apply it to a specific client, you never forget what you learned. It's just in you because you've embodied it, okay? So, you know, that is a sign that you are ready, but you're just missing some preparation that would give you that feeling of knowing not just the what, but the why and the how. Okay. So the 4th thing is, you, like I said, you know what your clients need to do for the most part, but you're just not sure how to motivate them to do it. Okay. So that concern is making you feel like you're worried that, sure, even if you give the client all the best advice, they're not going to do the work, and you're going to feel bad because you charge them money for a service that they didn't get the value from, okay? Now, first of all, that is not your issue, okay? When people don't implement, that is their decision not to engage fully in the work with you. Now, your responsibility, though, is to show up and deliver what you promised, okay? So if you didn't even promise anything, because you're not organized and you don't have a system in place designed to get results, then you probably didn't make any promises. So every time you get to session, you're like, oh my God, I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know, like, what am I going to say if they didn't implement what I said last time? Do I just go on to the next thing? Or do we stick with this thing till they implement it? Right? All these different questions are going to be coming into your mind. And you're going to feel dread and anxiety about those sessions, because it's going to go back to the feeling of you taking on the responsibility, okay, for them implementing or not. Now, here's where your responsibility lies. It doesn't lie in anything that they're doing or not doing, because when they implement and they heal, they're healing themselves. You're a guide, you're a coach, you're a support. You're not doing the healing. So don't give yourself credit for someone's healing, and don't, put the blame on yourself when somebody doesn't do the work to heal either. Okay. So, but you do have a responsibility to provide an incredible service that you come to from preparation. When you feel prepared, okay, you can't tell yourself you're not ready, right? Like, you literally disarm that belief by actually doing the work to get prepared, okay? And learning how to motivate people. First, it comes from learning it in yourself, right? Then it comes to being able to inspire others to take action, okay? And learning how to coach people to breakthroughs when they get stuck because of their limiting belief systems or, negative emotions that are standing in the way, and going deeper to the root causes of why a person isn't implementing. You have to, go from like surfacey stuff, like the what and the how, to the why, and be going deeper underneath. Okay, so you don't have a coaching system. Let's just face it. That's why you don't have. You don't feel prepared to coach people, right? Okay, so just out of realizing what shows you that you are actually ready but not prepared brings us to the 4 ways in which you need to get prepared. So you're going to know what you need to do to get prepared out of seeing where you're not prepared, right? So let's look at the 4 ways that you're not prepared that's making you not feel ready. Okay, so number 1 is you don't have a client intake system. Okay, so if every single time you get a new lead or you speak to somebody and you have to do back and forth emails between them, trying to get a spot on the calendar that works for both of you, and then you get on the call and you're giving free consulting and they're like, awesome, she just told me everything I need to do and I'm so overwhelmed. I'll call her in 6 months because I got to go put all this into place before the next session, right? Like, that is what people will naturally do. Like, if you don't know anything about how to set up a business properly, you would do something like that, right? Because you don't know what else to do. That would just be like flying by the seat of your pants kind of thing. Okay. So what you want to do is actually create a client intake system. Okay. This takes out all of that, going back and forth kind of thing where you're doing everything from scratch and you are basically not setting them up to make a decision. You're basically setting yourself up to give your time away for free, and not in a very valuable way, because like I said, they're just going to be overwhelmed and you just gave them a whole bunch of stuff to add to their to-do list and they just took up your time, and you're not going to get the satisfaction of actually helping them for that giving. Okay. So you have to set up your client intake system so that it saves you time and it gets people ready to make a decision about moving forward. Okay. So what you need is some sort of system that is and automatically connects with potential clients who want to have a conversation with you and gets them set up for that conversation, okay, through emails that happen automatically. Okay, so for myself, I'll give you my resource that I use. It's called Acuity Scheduler. And when somebody has a session with me, they basically book a session, and then my scheduler actually is set up with these automatic emails that not only tells them, here's how to get on the call where we meet on Zoom. Okay, so I don't have to do that. It gives them my calendar, so they book a time when I'm available. It's not a go back and forth where you're playing email tag with people and then you're trying to make your schedule fit around every single person that wants to work with you. You'd be running around with a chicken like your head cut off, right? And have no time for yourself and no momentum because you'd constantly be having sessions here and there. And that's not how you should set your business up, talking about business systems. That will burn you out. And it'll make you not as great of a practitioner because you won't have that downtime to take care of yourself, and you won't have the study time or the time to develop your service and make it better. So then what happens is once they have scheduled, it sends them a form. So they have an intake form so I can get some information from them about them before our session so that I know a little bit more about where they're at. Then it sends them to a place where they, this happens like at different days, right? So another day they get sent about 48 hours before the time that we're going to be getting together. It sends them a link to a webinar that basically explains my philosophy and program, okay? So by the time they get on the call with me, they already feel connected to me. They get what my philosophy is, okay? And they get a reminder, so they actually show up on that call, right? Then once they're on the call, we have a very structured conversation. It's a coaching conversation. It's designed to get them to make a decision about moving forward. That's your only job on that call. Okay, it's not to tell them how to solve their health problems, because health problems are based in something very holistic, right? All these different things come together to make somebody, be susceptible to disease. And it's not just one thing, right? It's not some food recommendations and some supplement recommendations. It's a lot more than that. So it would be a disservice to them to just give them a whole bunch of information, okay? So it's designed to get people to get to the root issue of what is keeping them stopped in that area, and what do they stand to lose if they don't solve that problem? What do they stand to gain when they do solve it? Okay, and then you invite them to become your client if it's a good fit, right? If what you offer is a match to what they need. All that happens, like literally, that is happening behind the scenes. I do need to do nothing until the day I get on the phone with those people, okay? So that's an example of a client intake system. What about when they come in, when they decide to be your client? Do you have your system set up to receive payment? Do you have a welcome letter that makes them feel like, wow, it solidifies for them that they're going to be taken care of inside your package in a really thoughtful way, okay? Your service is above and beyond. It helps them to feel good about their decision because they know that they're going to be well taken care of, and they're going to trust you more moving forward, okay? So, there's all sorts of different things that you can do in that client intake system. Okay. I go into a lot of detail about this, obviously, in the Nourish Nutrition Business Program. So if you're interested in that, I'm going to put a link below this video where you're going to get access to 5 videos that give you a taste of what my approach is, the Nourish Nutrition Business Program is all about, so that you can decide if it's for you or not. Okay, so this is an example. Okay, so when you're in there, for example, there will be links for you to book a call with me to chat. All right. The second thing is you don't have a step-by-step signature system that's designed to get results. That's how you know that you're not prepared. This is why you have no idea what you're going to do in every session, and you don't have the confidence to get clients' results. And your clients in the sales calls will not have the confidence in you that you can get them results if you don't have a signature system designed to get results for a certain type of problem, which we call a niche. Okay. That signature system is what you do. You design it step by step, okay? And that gives you confidence, and you just will feel prepared, and you're going to know at every session what you're going to be doing, and then you'll feel ready. Number 3, you don't have a session flow and a tracking system to follow, okay? So this is part of it, right? Like not knowing what to do when you get on a call, right? Even if you have like a certain piece that you know you want to cover, well, how do you deliver that session in a way that maximizes the value for the client? Okay, so that is going to be something that will give you, it's like a container, right? It's like, here's what we do in each session, and the client gets used to it. And so then they just feel like they know what to expect every single time, that you're going to be present to what their current needs are. And also you're going to bring something new to the session that keeps them excited about learning what the next step is. Okay. And then a tracking system to follow, right? Like this is one of the reasons why practitioners will feel unorganized, is because you're not keeping notes of what you did in the last session, what they accomplished, where they're getting stuck, what the results were. So then that informs the next step. Okay. So we don't need to get stuck on this idea like, oh, we design a system and we have to walk everyone through it like exactly the same way and there's no customizing. It's absolutely also customized, okay? You have a structure, you have a plan, and you can flow with uniqueness of your client. Number 4, okay? So if you don't have a coaching system to fall back on, then you're gonna struggle with that idea that you're not gonna know what to do if your client gets stuck, okay? So you need to learn a coaching system. That's also something that I teach in my programs. You're winging it, okay? That is the sign that you're unprepared. So you're winging it, you feel unorganized, and you feel overwhelmed, okay? All of this can be solved by getting prepared, okay? Very simple. So this video is an example of this, okay? Signs you're ready, signs you need to get prepared. Actually an extensive plan for me. Normally when I do a video, I have 3 points that I want to cover, okay? So the readiness comes from my focus on you, okay? I'm not worried about how I look, other than things like, you know, setting up the camera to create an interesting background because then the video is more attractive, okay? And yeah, actually, my personal thing is more about like, oh, I put some makeup on, right? But I'm not worried about what you think of me, right? I'm thinking about, or what I'm going to say sounds good, right? Or is of value. I know it is, right? I already have that because of practice, right? It's because when I didn't feel ready, I got prepared, right? And then I started doing videos on live streams, and now this becomes not an issue for me anymore. But I'm focused on you, not on myself, okay? So don't get into the idea like, oh my gosh, all this is going to take so much energy because I don't know what I'm doing and I won't know enough, and how am I going to market and what am I going to say and like all these things, right? You literally just do small preparation pieces. This doesn't need to be scripted, and it's not a one-size-fits-all approach to, you know, being healthy, being successful in business, etc. It's, you know, a container, and then you can flow with yourself, with, you know, what feels right in the moment, and just trust that what needs to come through you is going to come through you. Just like in this video. So no script, just a couple points. So I'm prepared, but my readiness comes from inside and my focus on service. And that's exactly where it's going to come from for you as well, right? If you have a lot of emotional issues that are stopping you in your business, then what's required is inner work. Okay, so the Nourish Nutrition Business Program gives you the structure to help you to get prepared so that you put all these like specific things in place. So it eliminates the thought, I'm not ready. Okay, and then, you know, I have further programs and ways that you can work with me if you want to, you know, work personally together and get the support to break through emotional pieces, okay? Because then once you're prepared, if there's anything in the way, then it's all just emotional, right? It's all just mindset. So thank you so much for watching. And like I said, I'm going to put the link under the video where you can get access to the Nourish Your Nutrition Business 5-part video series, where I'm going to walk you through the entire program layout of the Nourish Nutrition Business Program and teach you a ton in the process, just like in this video. And from there, you're going to be able to really get a taste of what it would be like to learn from me and work together. And then you'll be invited to book a Boost Your Biz breakthrough session, and we'll get on the phone together and we'll chat about where you're at and look at whether or not the Nourish Nutrition business is a fit for what you need next. All right, thanks for watching. Bye for now.